The first tip is using Azami to get vault prompts. There's many ways you can do this. I'll give you an example. If you come to Outback in the Reptile hallway, you can get inside of this case by just throwing an Azami barricade on the bottom right here. If you crouch and you look to the left side while standing on the right side of the barricade, you should get a vault prompt just like this, to which you can press space, and now you're inside of the Reptile hall. To make this even better, you're also able to encase yourself inside of here if you want to get some cool angles as well, maybe onto the doorway, doesn't really matter, but this is pretty nice. And that was just one out of 12 different tips that I'll be going over in today's video that you need for your ranked games. These tips progressively get crazier and crazier as the video goes on, so make sure you stick to the end and let's continue. My second tip is also with Azami. Now, you can use Azami barricades to get crazy runouts. Let's take this for example. If an attacker sees this and they see that it's not cracked, they're going to assume that it's going to take at least 3 melee hits to open it. So now they're going to think, okay, well, I'll just wait for him to hit it a few times and then I'll worry about the runout. But if you vault on something next to an Azami barricade and you make sure that you fall right next to the barricade, it will break the barricade, making it to where you don't have to hit it 3 times and you can surprise a lot of attackers, just like this. As you can see, just vaulting next to the barricade completely broke it, and you can abuse that by, again, surprising the attackers because they're not going to expect this at all. Speaking of things people won't expect, let's go over this Kapitao trick next. As Kapitao, if you don't know, you can make one-way smokes. One-way smokes are essentially smokes that you can see through, but defenders can't. So as you see, if you were to plant the bomb right here and you were to look, you can easily see defenders that are swinging through this smoke, right? But if a defender were sitting inside the smoke and they were even standing just like this, they're not actually able to see at all. So when they try to swing and deny anybody trying to, like, cover the diffuser, they won't be actually able to see you, but you can easily see them due to the fact that perspective just works like that in the game. Even if they were to crouch, they still would barely be able to see you, so you can use one-ways like this to bait defenders into peeking angles that they can't see from, essentially giving you a Fenrir mine that you can use on defense. It's pretty nice. A lot of people don't know about it though. Just like this Valkyrie tip that I'll go over next, which is the fact that you can hide Valkyrie cameras in plants. A lot of people will throw Valkyrie cameras at plants. The issue with that, as you can see, is it just destroys the plant, so the Valkyrie camera is not even hidden anymore, defeating the entire purpose. But there's a way you can throw Valkyrie cameras inside of plants without it actually breaking the plant. Let me show you. If you throw a Valkyrie camera at the wall next to the plant, and then you bounce your other Valkyrie camera off of that Valkyrie camera, it'll fall in the plant without breaking the plant just like that. Now, there are certain plants that will break. For example, if you put it over this tall grass right here, it will break this tall grass. But it won't break the short grass right here, which is really cool. So you can still hide it in some plants and not others, but if you memorize which ones you can do by easily just going into a custom game and figuring it out, or figuring it out in the prep phase, you can easily do this trick and have no attackers be able to find any of your cameras whatsoever. And the cool thing is, you can easily pick back up your other one, so you're not wasting 2 Valkyrie cameras in one, and now you have your other 2 still saved up. Not only is it useful here, but it's also useful all around the map, because this map has plants literally everywhere, even on the walls. And it's not even just useful on Chalet, it's useful on tons of other maps too, so you should experiment with this, because it'll get you a lot of hidden cams for absolutely free. It's something that not a lot of players know, and the more you memorize it, the better you'll get with it. Just like this Jackal tip that I've put on screen from an Astralis video that was made by A21Mayo. As you can see in the bottom right corner, there's this graffiti put on screen. Now, there's a lot to break down here, but as Jackal, there's 4 different footprints from 4 different shoes that different defenders can give off. As you can see, Mute, Doc, Valkyrie, and Mira can give off this specific footprint. These operators give off this one, these ones this one, and these ones this one. If you're able to memorize which operators give off which footsteps, and you know roughly all of the operators that are inside of the game that you're playing, you can easily know which operators these footsteps are, even without having to track them, which is great for you. But more importantly, this graph here, where it goes over the color spectrum, is even more important. As you can see, when it goes to red and anything close to red are footsteps that were just placed there seconds ago, as you can see right here. But footsteps that are green, blue, or even gray right as they disappear are all footsteps that are old. So the closer it is to red, the closer it is to being a new footstep, so you know that the roamer is actually near you. But the closer it gets to blue and gray, then you know that the footsteps are old, and so is the information. So scanning isn't really going to do much except for find the roamer that is probably already rotated back to site. Overall, a super useful Jackal tip. And it's a mechanic that a lot of people don't know about. Speaking of a mechanic that a lot of people don't know about is the fact that you can use Dokkaebi calls to counter information. So yes, you can obviously use Dokkaebi calls to get calls for roamers, and you can use Dokkaebi phones to hack the cameras, but this isn't what I'm going to be talking about. When you call, anybody that is on a camera is forced to get off that camera to answer the Dokkaebi phone, even dead people. So not only can you use calls to know where the defenders are, but you can use calls so that the defenders don't know where you are. It's essentially having a knock ability in Dokkaebi. It's kind of overpowered. If you know where the defender is by calling or whatever you did, but you don't want them to know where you are because they have a Valkyrie camera on you, all you have to do is call, and now they can't see on that Valkyrie camera and they're forced to get off, meaning they have zero information on you, so you can sneak up on them and get a free kill because obviously you have information on them. Any gunfight that you take where you have information and they don't is always an advantageous gunfight to you that you should take 100% of the time, and it is something that is not used on Dokkaebi enough, especially considering the fact that it can be used in an entry fragging playstyle so well in this current entry fragging meta. You know what else is really good in this meta? Grenades. Due to the fact that Finka and Gridlock just got frag grenades, now there's 5 operators in the game that have frag grenades in total instead of 4. Jaeger is really good at countering frag grenades. One tip is Jaeger that you might not have known is the fact that Jaeger devices can actually catch grenades vertically. So if you place a Jaeger device right here, because maybe you're afraid of anybody throwing grenades through the head holes here to get wall denial, it's a pretty based fear. Well, also, you have to worry about people grenading below as well, but if you put a hole right next to this Jaeger device, if they try to throw a grenade vertically, this Jaeger device will actually catch it through the hole before the grenade even makes contact with the floor right here. It isn't just a semicircle of effect, it actually will go through this floor and zap any grenades below, which is something that a lot of people don't know about, and they won't even see where the ADS is or know how to counter it because it's so uncommon. Another mechanic that's super unknown and very uncommon to use is the fact that Knock actually counters Alibi. If you've seen this tip already in my past video, then you can go ahead and skip this one. But for those of you who are new, when Knock has her ability active and she shoots an Alibi clone, she actually does not get pinged by said Alibi clone. Now, if she were to undo her ability while the Alibi clone is pinging her, then of course she would get pinged. Kind of like how it works with Cav and Jackal or with Vigil and Lion. But as long as your ability is active and the Alibi clone is actively trying to ping you, it actually can't, and it gets grayed out in the bottom left just like this. You'd think that they would like include this in her operator description, but I guess that's just beyond them. Just like they should have included this tip for Mira. Now, I know you've heard of K tricking, Bandit tricking, Mute tricking, hell maybe you've even heard of Aruni tricking, but I guarantee you've never heard of Mira tricking. That's right, as Mira, you can deny wall denial with a Mira window in your pocket. So let's say they have a Thermite, they have an Ace, they have a Hibana, they have hard breaching charges, whatever it might be. If they put it on the wall and you hear them putting it on the wall, all you have to do is find where they put it and then put your Mira on the wall. Due to the fact that you can deploy Miras so much faster than most hard breaching devices can even explode, you will actually destroy any hard breaching on the other side of the wall just by placing this Mira. Now, if you know that they have a Thermite or that they only have 2 hard breaching charges, then you have 2 Mira windows, and you can use both of these Mira windows to deny all of the hard breaching utility that they have, and now they can't open the wall for the rest of the round. The hardest one though is always getting the first one, because you don't have any visuals, but with the first one placed down, now you have a second one in your hand that you can use to deny the second Thermite, or the second hard breaching charge. Now, once you see them placing on that wall, you can easily put a Mira here, and deny that one too. So it's pretty useful, you're just not going to be using it a lot in a lot of different games. You know what is practical though? Hibana tricking. Hibana tricking is something that you can do by just placing 4 pellets at the bottom of the wall and 4 pellets at the top of the wall. Once you activate it, it will actually take the reinforcement off of the wall completely. It's something you're able to do with Ace, so if you know what Ace tricking is, it's literally the same thing but with Hibana. All you do is you ADS with Hibana's gadget, and you line up the bottom arrows on her crosshair with the bottom of the wall just like this, and make sure that you're actually centered on the reinforcement too, just like that. You're going to do the exact same thing with the 2 top arrows after finding out where the actual top of the wall is, based off of where the top of the wooden part of the reinforcement is, just like that. Then ADS, line it up, and fire. Now, these Hibana pellets should destroy the reinforcement on the wall. As you can see, the reinforcement is completely gone, allowing your buck player or anybody with soft utility, or even just your breaching charges, to open the wall completely, and now you have a Thermite-sized breach with only 1/3 of Hibana's utility. Overall, I think it's awesome that you can use Hibanas to go through reinforced walls and through walls in general. You know what else can go through walls and still work? Nomad air jabs. As you can see, me and my teammate are on Oregon, and I'm playing Nomad. Now, if you knife the wall just like this, and you place an air jab inside of the hole that you knifed with, on the other side, any defenders that walk past that punch hole will actually get air jabbed. And the coolest thing is, they can't even hear the air jab anyways, allowing you to swoop up some free kills that you normally wouldn't be able to get in the first place. It's really, really cool, especially considering the fact that you can just shoot air jabs on flanks anyways, making her pretty useless unless you do this trick. It's super simple to do, so I won't waste your time explaining it much further than I really have to. Something that's even better than that, though, is this Kapkan trick that a lot of people don't know about. So, hiding Kapkan traps, if you're good at Kapkan and you have basic understanding of where attackers looks, is super easy, because right here, no attacker's gonna hop in the window and then hard check the left right here, unless of course they drone it. There's better examples on this map of more hidden Kapkan traps, but you get the idea. These aren't the best, but they'll do for now. If you want to hide these Kapkan traps even better though, all you have to do is barricade this door. Now obviously the barricade's going to hide the Kapkan traps because there's a barricade right there, but that's not the point. What you want to do is immediately tear the barricade back down. Now as you can see on this doorway, it leaves a strip of the old barricade on the door frame, which as you can see is actually like an inch thick. It's pretty thick, and that last little sliver of the barricade doesn't go away, and it can cover your Kapkan traps effectively, whereas if it wasn't there, you could easily see them. So it's a great way, especially on single doors, if you want to cover Kapkan traps that are pretty hidden, but you want to hide even more. And it's as simple as just barricading and unbarricading. And now they're even more hidden if you were to put a Kapkan trap on the same side that you barricaded. As you can see, where you would normally be able to see the Kapkan trap, now you kinda can't. It's pretty useful and extremely easy to do. But that's it for today's video. Check out this video where I busted 13 Siege myths and glitches that you might have not known about. My name is Alka, and I'll see you on the next video. Later.